Welcome to the magical land of Zimbabwe, a place where ancient legends come to life and the past is intertwined with the present. Our story today takes us to the heart of the Shona people, where the legend of Chaminuka, a great prophet and warrior, unfolds. Chaminuka's story is one of courage, wisdom, and an unwavering love for his people. Chaminuka was no ordinary child. Born into a modest family in a small Shona village, he was destined for greatness from the very beginning. Even as a baby, there was something mystical about him. His eyes seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages, and his touch had a calming effect on those around him. As he grew, it became evident that Chaminuka possessed extraordinary powers. By the age of 5, he could communicate with animals. Birds would perch on his shoulders and whisper secrets in his ears, while wild animals would approach him without fear. The villagers were both amazed and a little frightened by this child who could speak to the creatures of the forest. But Chaminuka's abilities didn't stop there. He began to have visions of the future. These visions were often cryptic, but they always proved to be true. One day, he foretold a great storm that would destroy many homes. The villagers, skeptical at first, prepared for the worst. When the storm hit, those who had listened to Chaminuka were safe, while others suffered great losses. This event cemented his reputation as a prophet. As Chaminuka grew older, his prophecies became more frequent and vital to the survival and prosperity of his people. He had visions of droughts, bountiful harvests, and even the outcomes of hunts. His guidance helped the village navigate through many challenges, earning him the unwavering respect and trust of his community. One significant prophecy came during a time of great famine. Chaminuka had a vision of a hidden valley filled with an abundance of food. Leading a group of villagers, he embarked on a journey to find this valley. After days of travel, they discovered it, just as he had foreseen. The valley was a paradise, with fruit-laden trees and streams teeming with fish. This discovery saved the village from starvation and further solidified Chaminuka's role as their savior. Despite the peace and prosperity that Chaminuka brought to his people, dark clouds loomed on the horizon. One day, while meditating by a sacred baobab tree, Chaminuka had a vision of invaders approaching their land. These invaders were fierce warriors from distant lands, intent on conquering the Shona people and claiming their fertile lands for themselves. Chaminuka knew that this threat could not be taken lightly. He called a meeting of the village elders and shared his vision. The news sent a wave of fear through the community, but Chaminuka remained calm and resolute. He assured them that with proper preparation and unity, they could defend their land and preserve their way of life. Guided by his love for his people and his unwavering determination, Chaminuka began to prepare the village for the impending battle. He trained the men in the art of warfare, teaching them how to wield spears and shields effectively. The women and children were taught how to seek shelter and aid the warriors in times of need. Chaminuka's training sessions were grueling but necessary. He knew that the only way to ensure their survival was through discipline and strength. He used his powers to foresee the strategies of the invaders, and he devised counter-strategies to outsmart them. His presence was a source of inspiration and strength for the villagers, who looked up to him as their leader and protector. The day of the battle arrived. The invaders, fierce and numerous, marched towards the village with an air of arrogance. But the Shona people, under Chaminuka's leadership, were ready. The air was thick with tension as the two sides faced each other, ready for the clash. Chaminuka stood at the forefront, his eyes blazing with determination. He raised his spear high and let out a war cry that echoed through the valley. The Shona warriors charged forward with him, their spirits lifted by their leader's courage. The battle was fierce and intense. Chaminuka fought with unmatched bravery, his spear striking down enemies with precision. His powers allowed him to anticipate the moves of the invaders, turning the tide of the battle in favor of the Shona people. Despite being outnumbered, the villagers fought with the ferocity of lions, driven by their love for their land and their trust in Chaminuka. After hours of brutal fighting, the invaders were finally defeated. The remaining enemies fled, leaving the Shona people victorious. The village erupted in celebration, their joy and relief palpable. They had defended their home and their way of life, thanks to Chaminuka's leadership and bravery. A grand celebration was held in honor of Chaminuka and the warriors. There was dancing, singing, and feasting that lasted for days. The villagers expressed their gratitude to Chaminuka, honoring him as their hero and savior. It was a moment of triumph and unity for the entire community. Chaminuka's legacy lived on long after the battle. He continued to guide and protect his people, using his powers and wisdom to ensure their prosperity. He became a symbol of courage, wisdom, and selflessness, qualities that the Shona people cherished and aspired to embody. His teachings and prophecies became an integral part of the village's culture and traditions. The younger generation looked up to him, learning valuable lessons from his life and deeds. Chaminuka's name was spoken with reverence, and his story was passed down through the generations, inspiring future leaders and warriors. As he grew older, Chaminuka knew that his time on earth was coming to an end. He had served his people faithfully and selflessly, and now it was time to pass on his knowledge and wisdom to the next generation. He gathered the village elders and the youth, imparting his teachings and prophecies to them. Chaminuka's farewell was a solemn and emotional event. The villagers listened intently as he shared his final words of wisdom, encouraging them to remain united and strong. He reminded them that the true strength of a community lies in its love and support for one another. With his mission complete, Chaminuka peacefully transitioned to the spiritual realm, leaving behind a legacy that would never be forgotten. And so the legend of Chaminuka, the great prophet and warrior, remains a cherished tale among the Shona people. His story is a testament to the power of love, bravery, and wisdom. It serves as a reminder that even in the face of great adversity, the human spirit can triumph with unity and determination. Chaminuka's legacy continues to inspire and guide the Shona people, reminding them of their rich heritage and the values that have sustained them through the ages. The legend of Chaminuka lives on, a beacon of hope and strength for generations to come.